Hello everyone and welcome to Farm Bureau's Voices of Agriculture, brought to you this week by the Mississippi Farm Bureau. On the show this time we have a feature about an elementary school teacher that uses agriculture in her daily lessons.
Basically we've done everything from measuring for our garden and our planting. We've graphed the different plant growths that we've had. We've raised our chickens. We've calculated the incubation periods. We've done all of these things, and all of these things align to our benchmark standards.
We visit a Delta farmer who uses computers to optimize his farming operation.
As technology has advanced over the last 20 years and the ability to start using cloud-based software, it sped up the software that we're able to do so much more now than we could 5 years ago just because the technology wasn't available.
Then we go to South Mississippi to visit a family-owned dairy.
Dad, my sister, myself, we will be found in the barn at any given day, any given time, helping one another. We low temperature vat pasteurize. It is non-homogenized. We pride ourselves in our cow to table in 24 to 48 hours. It's always fresh. And from our jerseys and our green grass, you always get a really nice cream line milk.
In our Meet a Farmer segment, we meet a cattle and row crop farmer. Nancy Freeman will be here also to show you a nice, tasty rice dish. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
The modern farm depends on technology that allows crops to be grown in a way that protects our environment, including our vital water resources. Healthier animals and crops are the goal of professional farmers who use technology, improved practices, and chemicals that are safe for their produce, our environment, and consumers. It's the combined contributions of Mississippi farmers and their suppliers that continue to evolve the modern farm, ensuring a bright future for farming in Mississippi. The Farm Families of Mississippi, partners working together.
Each year, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Women's Program selects a Teacher of the Year, someone who successfully incorporates agriculture into the class curriculum to help kids learn more about farming and where their food comes from. The winning teacher is then offered an all-expense-paid trip to the National Ag in the Classroom meeting held each summer. The 2015 winner is Tiffany Lyles from Pleasant Hill Elementary School in Olive Branch. Tiffany Lyles is a veteran elementary school teacher, having been in the classroom for 15 years. She's taught lots of different ages, but her favorite is first grade.
These kids are open to any kind of new experiences. They love to learn. They're like little sponges. They're just ready and eager every day to come in and get to work.
Many young students are limited in their life experiences with nature, but they are blessed with the gift of curiosity. So putting ag in the curriculum is perfect for teaching life lessons.
Basically we've done everything from measuring for our garden and our planting. We've graphed the different plant growths that we've had. We've raised our chickens. We've calculated the incubation periods. We've done all of these things, and all of these things align to our benchmark standards.
Tiffany started using chickens about 3 years ago as an experiment, but she quickly saw how well it was working.
As I saw that we were using the chickens to kind of journal write and experience these things, I saw how excited the kids were about it, and I saw the growth in their writing. It's a true life experience, they absolutely love to write about it, and they're excited about writing. And I had just never seen that before using any, kind of reading program or writing program. It's just the excitement's there every day.
There are 2 roosters and 4 hens. All of them use their legs to stretch. The chickens have a lot of fun in the chicken coop. We took a picture yesterday. It looks like a barn house. The sloughs painted the barn house. It has a barn in the back and it is large in the front.
And what were y'all learning about the roosters?
That if you hold it too tight, it will dig into your shirt and scratch your wrist.
Did he get you?
Yes.
The class has 1 rooster named Elvis, 3 hens, and 6 chicks that are growing quickly. They've all been raised right here at the school.
Those are actually our third generation of chickens. We hatch the eggs. We have our little rooster Elvis out there. We get our eggs and we bring them in. This year we brought in 6 eggs, or 7 eggs actually, to practice, and 6 of those 7 hatched. And those were the little chicks that you saw out there. And that will be our next generation, and they'll lay our eggs for next year.
They also talk about eggs that have been laid and whether they are eating eggs or hatching eggs.
Hatcher or no hatcher? Raise your hand for hatcher. Raise your hand for no hatcher. All right, good. All right, Braylon, why do you think this is a no hatcher?
Because it really doesn't have any dark spots.
It doesn't, and all that we can see is this little
just
shadow
clear.
is the yolk, and what's the clear?
The albumin.
The albumin. So I think this one may be a non-hatcher.
Then, as a reward for good behavior, they scramble up some of the eating eggs and serve them to the class.
What do you think about them? Are we good chefs or not? Yeah.
In addition to the chickens, the kids also get to work in the garden.
We actually have another community supporter, Bonnie Plants, donated some plants to us. And what we do is we'll take those out there and we use those for mostly our math learning experiences. And we do use those for journal writing experiences as well, use those for graphing and different sorts of things. But I kind of figured out too that if we grew it, they would eat it. We've grown everything from broccoli, we've had salad day where we've had lettuce that we harvested from outside, and the kids just absolutely enjoyed it. And they're willing to try new things.
Working in the garden allows the kids to actually feel the soil in their hands and get dirty without getting into trouble.
Like when we were out there and we were doing the composting with the worms, the first thing most of the time that my girls do when we first start doing that is they look at their hands and they say, oh my goodness, my hands are dirty. But now at this point in the year where it's really late in the year, the kids are looking down and saying, yeah, my hands are dirty. I learned something today.
He gets the soil and he brings it into his body, and whenever he brings it into his body, it goes straight through, and everything that he doesn't need is passed out the other end as waste. And that waste that we have is called worm poop. Well, yes. Yes, it is called worm castings. It is poop.
Incorporating agriculture in the classroom has allowed many cross-curricular learning experiences from language arts to math to science. But the greatest learning outcome is the sense of responsibility that these kids take for their own learning experiences and the connection they make with the world around them through problem solving and teamwork.
One of my kids actually in their journal writing experiences, I was reading through there and I got kind of tickled. They said actually on there, they said, you know you're learning if your hands are dirty. So I just got the biggest kick out of that. But really it's true. That's the product of their work and they're just so excited about it.
The goal of most farmers is to produce a quality product with a high yield, using as few inputs as possible. In order to do that, many farmers use their computer to keep track of inventory and yields, but some farmers, like Jeremy Jack of Belzona, Mississippi, have taken it to a whole new level. Jeremy Jack is the co-owner of Silent Shade Planting Company in the Mississippi Delta, a family-owned and operated farm with approximately 11,000 acres of corn, soybeans, cotton, rice, and peanuts.
My father moved here from Canada in '79. I was born a few years later, and growing up on the exact farm that we're on right now is where he moved to. And growing up here, we could sit at the house and I could watch the 2 pivots. I could hear their well motors, and we could get on a 4-wheeler and ride around and work this land every day. And we did it all, but we had to look at it and physically work it every day by ourselves. We had almost the same amount of crew then as we do now, and we're farming almost 6 times the amount of acres or 7 times the amount of acres as we were then. And we're doing a better job with it. We're using less inputs, growing more yields.
So how do you work 6 or 7 times as much land with the same amount of people? The answer is technology.
As technology has advanced over the last 20 years and the ability to start using cloud-based software, it sped up the software that we're able to do so much more now than we could 5 years ago, just because the technology wasn't available to do it. We have wireless broadband. We not only know the production of every acre, but we know the cost of every acre. So we don't put more inputs than we need to. So it's helping us be sustainable for the next 2 or 3 generations. We're trying to lay the road map out for the next generation to farm with, because we don't want to use all their inputs up and have them have to figure something else. We want to try to keep our inputs around long term.
Planting season can get very hectic, but these computer programs record everything that goes on so that when things slow down, Jeremy can go back and analyze each field to see what was done.
I'll give an example. We were planting 5 crops and fertilizing 1 also. I can say this field right here, how did we fertilize that field? What did we do to it? So I can click on that field with this program here, and that gives me, this is the as applied map. We were putting out a straight rate of 34 gallons, 28005, and it shows that there's the as applied map. So if there was a problem in the field, it would show it differently. I can click on a field that we had a prescription on. So I can look here to see if we ran a prescription on these fields, and you can see we had a lighter rate and then a heavier rate and then a lighter rate over here. So depending on the planting, we fertilize for the actual amount of seeds that we put out. So we put a variable rate planting down. Stronger parts of the field get more seeds. Strong parts of the field get more fertilizer. Weaker parts of the field get weaker seeds and weaker fertilizer. And that just follows through on every task that we do. But I can go back and double check it to make sure it was done correctly.
Jeremy also uses moisture meters and flow meters to help eliminate waste in irrigation and to study the impact that they are having on their aquifer. The technology also gives Jeremy real-time updates of tractors in the field.
He's driving 7 miles an hour. He's got almost a full tank of fuel, and he's heading east right now. I can look at the actual alerts. So this is the information on the tractor. Let's see if he's got any codes. So he needs to calibrate his TCM, but besides that, he's had a bad radio the other day. So this is all the stuff that's been going on with this tractor, and all these are blue. Here's a couple of reds. He ran low on fuel a couple of days. He left our geo fence, so we have a fence that's the perimeter of the actual operation. This tractor had to go up to get some equipment outside, so I knew it left home place. So and it actually sends me an email when he gets a red code. I can send him files. So if he was planting or fertilizing, and I wanted to send an actual file with a prescription on it, I can send it to him from here. He'd receive it, download it wirelessly.
And if you think planting season is hectic, harvest season can be much worse.
We might be harvesting 3 or 4 crops on the same day, and for one person to keep up with what trucks are going where, it's it's a zoo around here some days. So by being able to track each crop independently from an office, our Stacy marketing the crop, she can sit there and watch how much inventory we have in each set of bins, and if the market pushes one way or pushes the other direction, it allows her to sell or not sell if the market goes up or goes down.
The time that you book your crop in the market can make the difference between making a profit or taking a loss. The technology allows Jeremy to make decisions a lot quicker than he used to.
We didn't wait till the very end to see where we are. We're making sure to see where we are exactly day by day. The one program we use, Granular, we predict our yield by scouting throughout the year. So they're predicting what our crop is going to be. And as we harvest each field, it updates. So we have a running total each day. This is what we've gotten done so far, and this is what our projection is. So we said off this farm we're going to get, 225 bushels, but it only came off 200 bushels. It automatically adds the rest of the farms to that and gives us our total. So we make sure we can market fully. So when harvest is over, if the market advanced during harvest season, we can take advantage of that.
Farms are getting bigger each generation, and the days of being able to just ride around and look at everything going on is getting harder and harder to do.
We use the technology to help us analyze what's going on all these places at the same time, and it allows me to, instead of spend my day driving and looking all day, I can actually do a little work now because I can monitor what everyone's doing. They have a game plan lined up for the day, and I can go do what I need to go do instead of holding their hand for the rest of the day. I think that
the crew enjoys it and everyone enjoys it a lot better.
We'll have more of Voices of Agriculture right after these messages.
This farm has been in my family for over 60 years. I can truly say that my roots are firmly planted in the land and the legacy that my parents and grandparents have built here. I read a quote once that said, "Greatness is pursuing your passion every day." You might not understand the passion it takes to be up before the sun and fall into bed well after it sets. But I learned it from my parents, and I hope to pass it on to my children.
The Farm Families of Mississippi, pursuing passion every day.
The dairy industry in Mississippi is not what it once was. At one time, there were over 400 grade A dairies in the state, but now that number has dwindled to about 80. There are a handful of small dairies that specialize in providing locally produced milk and milk products to the surrounding areas, though. One of those dairies is the Mote Dairy, located in the community of Progress in Pike County. Dairying has been a way of life for the Mote family for over 80 years, and she says her family brought dairy back to a simpler way of life of processing on the farm.
We milk 50 Jersey cross cows twice a day. Normally start about 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We all play a part in everything here. We all wear many different hats for many different responsibilities. Dad, my sister, myself, we will be found in the barn at any given day, any given time, helping one another.
In 2001, they sold their first bottle of pasteurized, non-homogenized milk at a farmer's market in New Orleans. From there, you can fast forward to where they are today.
We low temperature vat pasteurize. It is non-homogenized. We pride ourselves in our cow to table in 24 to 48 hours. It's always fresh. And from our jerseys and our green grass, you always get a really nice cream line milk. Everybody asks about the cream line. And during different seasons, you can tell the different colors. When the grass is really rich, you're gonna have a nice rich colored milk with a nice rich cream line. We offer our milk in a returnable glass bottle and also plastic. Our glass bottle is a $4 bottle deposit. It's brought back. We hand wash every bottle. They're also sanitized in a commercial dishwasher and then refilled and brought back to you.
In addition to their cream-lined milk products, they're also becoming famous for their delicious cheesecakes made right on the farm.
The Creole cream cheese cheesecakes, Milk Lady cheesecakes, were brought to life by my mom in 2001 when a customer came to the farmer's market and asked her if she had ever made a Creole cream cheese cheesecake before, and she said no. She was handed a recipe, and from there we have the Milk Lady cheesecakes. My happy place here on the farm is the Milk Lady Cheesecake Kitchen. I spend most of my time and most of my effort in there, and especially right now, we are getting into the holiday season. We will get very busy through Thanksgiving, Christmas, and our new venture last year, our Creole cream cheese king cake cheesecakes. We use our fresh eggs and our Creole cream cheese to make a Creole cream cheese cheesecake. Fresh, no preservatives, no additives. Lots of raves, lots of loves for it. We make about 150 to 200 small ones a week that are sent to various stores and restaurants.
Sarah says she feels very blessed to be able to work with her family and to have come so far in this business in what seems to be such a short time.
Blessed that we are able to be here as a family. It's my mom, my dad, my sister, and myself, along with my 2 children and my sister's son. And we're all here on the farm every day together. We love this. This is our life. This is our land. This is what we love to do.
We'll have more of Voices of Agriculture right after this time out. Stay with us.
With a network of farmers markets throughout Mississippi and the diversity of products grown, it is a food lover's and chef's paradise.
These peaches are fantastic. This is going on the menu tonight.
Not only do we serve the public, we provide a dependable source of fresh produce to local restaurants as well.
My menu is built around local fresh produce. And with this corn, tomatoes, and eggplants, we're gonna have a great special tonight thanks to the Farm Families of Mississippi, growing my business.
In our Meet a Farmer segment this week, we meet a cattle and row crop farmer from Northeast Mississippi.
The main part of the operation is the row crop, and I myself work 3,200 acres. and Mass Farms Partnership also has 3,200. Before my father passed away, we kind of were in partners on all of it. So when he passed away in 2012, I kind of took over the Mass Farms Partnership side of it, and I just manage it for my mother and my 2 sisters now.
All of his row crop acres were planted in soybeans this year. Over the course of his 7 years of farming, he's increased his yield from 30 bushels per acre to an average of 52 bushels per acre. Some parts of his farm even reached 76 bushels per acre. His cattle herd is mostly Angus Brangus cross.
There should be 20 mama cows and calves on this place, and then there's 20 more on another pasture that I own. It's going pretty good. The calves, when we wing them off, bringing $1,000 to $1,200 a piece. So it's looking up.
Clay also likes to give back to the community. For instance, he helps youth that want to be involved in 4-H.
The kids that are in 4-H, we're big in the calf showing and carrying them to state fairs and letting them get involved with that. And the ones that don't have a place to keep a calf, we'll keep it for them. And we'll haul it to the state fairs and to the county fairs and stuff like that. So you know that's a big responsibility, and it takes a lot off of them.
This third-generation farmer has done a lot with his farm in a short period of time.
I think the proudest thing that I would say that I am the proudest of would be probably the row crop part. To go from 150 acres to 3,200 in 7 years, that would be probably the proudest part.
In our Mississippi on the Menu segment, Nancy Freeman prepares a tasty rice dish.
I love rice. It's great with everything. You know, it's one of those grain products that goes with anything. It's known for the way it pairs with all kinds of foods, and it's economical. And everybody just enjoys rice in so many different ways. And I have a great recipe that I'm going to share today for a Waldorf rice salad. But you know, rice is also nutritious. It's cholesterol-free, it's sodium-free, and did you know it's the least allergenic of all the grains? So Mississippi rice is great to have in family meals, particularly if you have some with food allergies. Great food product here. Okay, we've got our brown rice in the dish that I've already pre-cooked, and to this I'm going to add some low-fat vanilla yogurt, a little bit of low-fat mayonnaise, and a little bit of salt, and a little bit of cinnamon. And then we're just going to stir these all together. I like recipes like this that are quick and easy to do, and I can have ready to go and in the refrigerator to have with a meal anytime. A great dish to also take to somewhere when you need to have a treat to take. To this we're going to add some celery that we've chopped up. We're going to add a tart apple. We're going to add some raisins, a chopped carrot, and then some walnuts, or you could add our Mississippi pecans, whichever you like. You know, Mississippi rice is great, and the majority of it is grown in northwest Mississippi, where most of our producers are here in the state. And then this past year, they brought in $132 million to our state's economy. So rice is great for our economy, it's great for your family meals, and it's just a wonderful, delicious treat to have. Now, we've got this stirred up. This would then go into the refrigerator just to be kept served cold. It's really good that way, and again, great make and take. So let's look at our finished product over here. Can you just imagine this at your dinner table with a little fresh fruit on the side? It is going to be delicious, and I'm about to try it out. Check it out at our website at growingmississippi.org, or follow us on Facebook by searching for Farm Families of Mississippi.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Voices of Agriculture. We hope you've enjoyed the show and will be with us again next time. For all of us here at the Mississippi Farm Bureau, thanks for watching.